Detroit Boxing Talk with Cam J Network, man. You already know I'm your host, Cam J. And I got my dog with me today, man. My boy
Yeah,
Ish, man.
we in here today. We in here today.
My boy Ish in the building today, man. So definitely wanted to come through, give some fight predictions for some of the fights that's happening this weekend. It's four cards this weekend, and we're gonna cover the hottest topics. I think first, what we can do is, I think last week I got into the predictions first, but I'm gonna
Mm,
do it different this time. I'm gonna switch it up. Let's get into the topics first, and then
okay.
we can get into the predictions.
All
So,
right, cool.
because I already know it'll warm up some of the people that'll come in here eventually. So, let's get it, man. All right. I wanted to get your opinion about this 100%, man. So,
What?
big topic. PBC, man, top rank, man, linking up to conquer boxing in America, bro. Like heavy, man. Big crazy news. Top Bob Aaron from Top Rank, he been speaking recently about Top Rank and PBC doing business together, making fights together and stuff. And they been actually in meetings
Mm,
recently. So they in meetings talking about certain fights that they want to make coming up, and possibly talking about networks because you already know Top Rank, they're leaving ESPN in the summer because their contract
mm,
up. And I did hear that they was going back to the table to talk with ESPN to go with a lower rate than what ESPN was paying them for fights, but I haven't heard anything about that recently in recent weeks since I heard about it a couple weeks ago. So right now, Top Rank do have a relationship with Amazon Prime with the Japanese fighters that they have under contract, now anyway, and Nakatani and some of them other guys that they have. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
do have a relationship with Amazon Prime where they could get a deal done with Amazon Prime. You know what I'm saying? That would be a likely thing that could possibly happen. I don't see the zone happening. It's not happening for sure. I can say that for sure. And there are
Hmm.
other networks as well, man. So I wanted to get your opinion about this, man. PBC, Top Rank, they linking up, man. They tapped in, man.
I feel like it's a lot of reasons why this happened. I feel like it should have been happened. A lot of fights that we talk about would have happened a lot sooner. But I ain't gonna lie. I feel like it's kind of a tactic to take Turkey down. I ain't gonna lie to you. I feel like it's partially that. I feel like it could be partially that, and also Top Rank was in a bad position to lose ESPN and take a lower deal and stuff. So,
Facts.
um, I'm gonna be real. I'm surprised PBC just ain't try to buy them out because really PBC all they really need is their top fighters to fight PBC's top fighters. That's all they need from them. Y'all could have just bought them boys out. They're in a bad predicament already.
Facts.
So that's what I expected to happen. But this is a desperate move for Top Rank, in my opinion. It's a desperate move, and but it's also gonna be a good move for Top Rank. It's a bad move for all them top fighters and Top Rank that's been not been able to fight the top fighters in PBC and top other top fighters because now y'all got to fight now. So overall for boxing, it's a good move though. Overall for boxing, it's a good move because a lot of fights that you always wanted to see, whoever at the top, they're gonna have to fight now. Them top rank boys they ain't gonna be sitting there fighting nobody. They got to come outside now.
Facts. Facts. Facts, man. And just to add to that too, like with 2 cents was good with you. Salute, salute. Hey, subscribe to 2 Cents Boxing on YouTube, man. It's definitely
I
got
got
some lit content on the boxing for sure, man, for sure. Um, yeah, man. Just to add to that, with the fights they got, bro, like obviously I know they've been talking about, Tank mainly with, Bob Arum.
you. Mm-hmm.
He was talking about, trying to make fights with Tank Davis, which is um you can definitely see, Keyshawn, obviously Keyshawn Davis and Lomachenko.
I'm glad.
Yeah, like, and then you got other fights, of course, Sebastian Fundora,
Mm-hmm.
Xander Zayas, you know what I mean? So they got a multitude of fights to have, you know what I mean, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's great for American boxing because they got Top Rank, they got a lot of strengths that they have that some may be a weakness for PBC. And then vice versa. You know, PBC, they have strengths that they have, and top rank, they got weaknesses, so they'll be able to pick up each other's weaknesses and work
Mm-hmm.
together, and they can really mess the game up in America and just boxing in general as well, for sure. And I just see that this top rank and PBC move, bro, this merger, it's a beautiful move for American boxing, bro. Like it keeps everything stabilized for real. Just know Top Rank just got to get them a network. Once they get them a network, which is I'm pretty sure I can see Amazon Prime for them for real. It just
Yeah, I can
looks
see
like
that. I can see
if
that.
they're working with PBC, then I don't see why PBC, Al Heyman would try to help them get in a situation with them as well. You know what I'm saying? Even though, like I said, Top Rank, they already have a relationship with Prime, with Amazon Prime, with now with Anyway. So and the other
Mm-hmm.
Japanese fighters that they had.
But let me
So
tell you this though. You know who really took a loss from this deal though?
oh,
American fighters that's with the zone, like Boots, over the side with Eddie Hearn and stuff like that. Now he
talk
really took a
about
loss
it.
from this. That's who took a loss from this.
Talk about
Hoop,
it, bro.
Hoops took a lot, and I ain't gonna lie. In his defense, it ain't like we could have seen this coming or nothing like that. But Boots really took a loss because the guys you need to fight over there at PBC and Top Rank, they not with Eddie Hearn or over there with Turkey. Nobody worry about them or nothing like that. So
Facts.
American, the way I see, it, I ain't trying to sound bad, but it's really
Big face
segregating
sports was
boxing, bro.
good, bro.
It's really segregating boxing, bro. Nobody don't want to see American fighters fighting for Eddie Hearn. We don't want to see that.
Facts. Facts. And just even with Boots, bro, and then Shakur, like even a guy
Mm-hmm.
like Shakur, bro, you was just on Top Rank, man. And you know, all like I said with Shakur, all the fights that he wants is over there with PVC and Top Rank. He
Mm-hmm.
chose to go over to Matchroom Boxing to fight over there, where Eddie Hearn has no fighters over there. And
No fighters.
then on top of that, the fights that he do want is with Golden Boy, and Oscar asks Shakur to sign with Golden Boy, and you can get these fights easily. Shakur didn't want to do so. He wanted to sign with Eddie Hearn.
Mm-hmm.
Look at him. He struggling to get these fights over there. He had the Kid Austin shit, and that didn't work out. And now he got the situation where him and Zepeda, they both available now. We'll see if they make that fight. But like I said with Shakur, you had an easier route to get bigger fights if you would have probably stayed over there at Top Rank, or you would have, what I'm saying, obviously took the one fight deal with with Tank on the PBC last year. But
Mm-hmm.
Shakur, he chose to, take the easy route, man.
My thing
Man
is
want
who
easy money, easy money. I mean, easy fights for big money, bro, and that's just what Shakur's type is on. But with this merger, it's like, bro, like they're going to be able to make all these fights easier. So if you would have been on Top Rank, you would have been in the mix for all of this.
my problem is
Yeah.
who validates. Okay, when you think of Eddie Hearn, who do you think of? Anthony Joshua, right?
Facts. Hell, you
That's
think of
it.
all the UK fighters.
That's it. You don't think of nobody else. So I don't know who made Eddie Hearn look like a great option for American fighters. He don't even have an American fighter that he built.
Facts.
He have American fighters that want to go over there. They want to go over there and see what he did with Joshua and see what he doing with Eubank and Conor Benn and stuff. Them all UK guys. You not. That's not your fan base.
The two says you're right. He said Eddie Hearn is the star match room. He didn't
Bro,
build AJ.
bro,
And
think about it, bro. Name an American boxer that can really sell out UK. Think about it.
Tank,
That's it though. And Tank
Tank,
definitely ain't messing with Eddie Hearn.
Tank.
You get what I'm
Tank
saying?
can,
So
PBC, they can make that fight if they want to go out there by themselves, you know what I mean?
yeah, Eddie Hearn, bro, that was a
Eddie Hearn has a track record, like I've been saying for a long time, that he has not done well with American fighters.
exactly, man.
He don't get them no big fights. He don't give them big opportunities. You know what I'm saying? Like he set all of those American fighters up to fight the Europe bombs. And people don't be caring to watch them fights half of the time, man. That's just the fact of the matter, man. Like it's just real nasty work, bro. Like, you know what I
I'm
mean?
hoping. Now, what I'm hoping is, I'm
Just
hoping.
think about it with Top Rank and PBC, they merging. Where does that leave Golden Boy, Matchroom, and Queensberry, and all the other companies that's out there? You know what I'm
I mean,
saying? You can
Matt.
say Pro
Yeah,
Box TV is rising up, but that's kind of the prospects majority. They do have some of the vets be on there and everything and
but
stuff to mix it up.
but
Jerry
Golden
Jones got
Boy.
some fighters, but all of these other companies, bro, all of them been letting Turkey run their company over the
Exactly.
past couple years, and
Mm-hmm.
now Turkey's about to end up taking his money away when he starts up this whole TKO boxing shit with
Mm-hmm.
Dana White. So now it's going to make these promoters do their jobs. They're going to have to do their job again now
Exactly.
because the money going to be gone.
Exactly.
So what they gonna do? That's the question. What are y'all gonna do when Turkey is out of here, out of boxing? Because he's basically leaving boxing in fucking 16, 18 months. So
Exactly.
what are they gonna do? That's the real question.
They
And
gonna look
that
stupid.
question is unknown because you already know with Golden Boy, they ain't putting on no great fights for real. Like they
Mm-mm.
don't put on no they putting on Thursday night fights with their
Mm-hmm.
prospects half like all the time. And then they have a fight here and there, but they ain't doing shit over there. You look at Matchroom, they do a lot of fights throughout the year, but they're not putting on the fights. When they come up to big matches, they'll put one of their guys and send them over to another, company like
Bro,
PBC, and
to
they
be real,
headline and they take the money and cash them out over there. They're not putting on their own big events over there for Matchroom. The
yeah.
Queensberry, we already know they ain't doing nothing but fucking with the heavyweights for real. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's like all of those three brands, they got it's time for them to finally do their damn job because Top Rank and PBC, they're doing their job. PBC, both of these companies, Top Rank and PBC, they've been putting on the biggest fights over the past 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
Since Floyd Mayweather was fighting Pacquiao. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
just saying in general, bro, like
I
they
think I ain't
gotta
gonna lie.
they gotta understand like PBC and Top Rank, they about to run the whole game. The whole game. And it's well needed because they gonna do it the right way. Top Rank and PBC got the fighters. Top Rank,
Mm-hmm.
they know how to build up their prospects along with PBC as well. But PBC, they know how to build they prospects in the stars, in the pay-per-view stars. Actually, you want to be real. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
They're building pay-per-view stars. Top Rank, that's something that they lack in, where
Mm-hmm.
PBC can them working with them, they can fuck around and start doing so. And once they learn what they doing, you know what I mean?
To be
And let me
real with
read
you,
some of the go ahead, go say what you're gonna say. Then I'm gonna read some of the comments. Go ahead.
to answer your question, you was like, "What them boys gonna do?" I'm gonna tell you what I want them to do. I want them to go out of business. I do. I want Queensbury and all to go out of business because everybody might as well sign the Top Rank and a PBC and just let it all be. Let the top fighters be signing the same promotion companies, bro. We don't need all this other stuff no more. We don't need all we couldn't fight because the contract, the mob company. We don't need that no more. I hope they go out of business. I hope Turkey they find out he phony, and by the way, by the time they find it out, it's over with. And now they got to join PBC and Top Rank. That's what I see happening. I see it's gonna hit them so hard they're gonna have to join in. They're gonna have to join in. It's just what's gonna unless you're going back to Turkey and that boxing league stuff he got going on. But no,
Shout out to my boy Brian King, man. I see you in the building, man. For sure, bro. Let me go ahead and get you right. I'm gonna fuck with my boy. Okay. And yeah, let me read 2 cents. He said,
the Top Rank had
my
better
boy,
be.
I said big play. My boy, big play sports. She said I missed Showtime. 2 cents says Eddie Hearn is who other promoters go to when they want their fighters to get wins.
Mm-hmm.
The Big
In
Play
UK.
Sports says Eddie Hearn does better promoting the fight when he's the B side, kind of like the Katie Taylor versus Serrano. Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Who says Eddie Hearn gets his fighters ass whipped. He a horrible promoter, which that's a fact. Eddie Hearn be getting this guy's whacked out there, dog. Like Ammo Williams last year with
Mm-hmm.
Shiraz got him whacked, bro. Like just badly, bro.
The only thing
Um,
I will give UK. Like I told you offline, I feel like UK, the Wembley Stadium, those UK stadiums be selling out pretty good. I ain't gonna lie to you. That's the only thing I would give them. Outside of that, I'm not doing no business with Eddie Hearn, man.
The 2 cents said to be named to be changed. He said the name to be changed from Matchroom Promotions to Feeder Promotions.
Theater promotion.
All Hattie fighters is food. Said Top Rank don't want no pay per view stars. That's a fact. Not competition good for the market. Yeah, facts. Big Play Sports. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't Top Rank used to have Bitter Beef? Yeah, they still got Bitter Beef. You said Top Rank and PBC are the biggest boxing entities. Facts. Facts.
Yeah, that's facts.
Those all facts. PBC don't need no trash ass fighters. BVO talking about
Who does
Super
Golden Boy
Turkey
got?
and
Is
None.
Garcia still with Golden Boy?
BVO was good, my boy.
Is
He said
Garcia still with Golden Boy?
who?
Ryan Garcia, he's still with them.
Yeah, Ryan said. I remember Ryan had a recent interview. He said he got like I think he got one more fight on the deal from. He said one or two more fights on his deal with Golden Boy. So he got
Yeah.
like two more fights with Golden Boy, and then he gonna be a free agent. So basically, the fights that he got this year lined up, Rolly Romero and Devin, if
The
they
top
get to those
dog, Devin
fights,
Haney, boy, the top
you know what
dog.
I'm saying? Devin Haney. Yeah, that he'll be done with his deal, man, for sure, man. Hey, yo, what's good, BVO? He said Killer Kale, Cleveland runs boxing. We are back, Uncle Al and Jake Paul. Facts. Hey, for sure, BVO, man. I definitely come on for sure, bro. And I definitely gotta have you on mine for sure, bro. We could just definitely link up and work for sure, bro. You Cleveland, I'm Cincinnati, man. Ohio, then let's link up for sure. He said Big Play Sports said Showtime knew how to promote fights well. Shame they went under. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Definitely. I mean, it was Showtime really didn't go under. They just went. They wanted to go a different direction with their
Mm-hmm.
content. They wanted to, started doing a lot more shows and stuff like that. So they just went away from all sports, just
Devin
not even
Haney,
just boxing. They went away from all sports. You feel me?
the
So
dream.
but PBC with Amazon Prime it's a beautiful sight to see, bro. I love PBC with Amazon Prime. They the big it's the Prime Video is the biggest app in the world, bro. Like it's like top three biggest app in the world, bro. So
Uh-huh.
like PBC, that's the right move to be over there with Jeff Bezos and Prime Video, man, for sure, for sure. He said Cleveland is the only place in Ohio.
You
Hey,
see,
chill out. We ain't
you,
doing that, man. You already know it's about the natty, man, for
hey, hold on,
sure.
Brown for Cincinnati too. You can't say that now.
You
Hey,
know it's about that natty, man.
you see what he said? Devin Haney's my favorite punching bag. You see what he said?
Hey, Devin Haiti, bro.
Bro,
Hey, he
don't hit
made
that
do his
punching bag no
thing.
left hook. The whole bag gonna fall down. Don't hit no left hook.
Facts, man. So let's go ahead. So speaking of Devin Haney, let's talk about the Fatal Fury card. I call it the weight bully card in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
because all it's a card for the weight bullies on this shit. But uh, Fatal Fury card selling no tickets for this card. They have no gate for this card. And Eddie Hearn is on record saying that they're due already before the fight even start. With no gate, they're already losing 10 million plus dollars already. So, man, what you think about this, man? Times Square, bro. Fatal Fury, three three fights. Turkey Alex Sheik got Ring Magazine doing this event. No gate. Already
First,
bound to lose $10 million due to having no gate. How you
look.
feel about it, brother?
You know how I feel about Eddie Hearn, first off, so I ain't gonna touch on that. Second off, why have an event when you got your all three of your main card guys from the West Coast? You should have took that fight out to California or something like that. Let it sell out in California. You can bring it out east where boxing is really as strong as that in the DMV and North area. We don't fuck with them like that. We don't like Devin Haney like that. If he ain't fighting Ryan Garcia, we don't want to see him. Now out in California, where Haney from, and where Garcia be at, it can sell out. So why bring you bringing them here to prove what everybody say? They can't sell by themselves. I don't care who they fighting out. They just can't sell. Dumb move. They need to start watching where they put guys at. These guys are not Tank Davis. They can't sell anywhere. Canelo can sell anywhere. They can't sell anywhere. Devin, we just want to see you get your ass whooped again. We don't want to see you fight. We don't want to see that. We want to see you get beat up. That's why we want to see you and Garcia fight. So nobody, with that being said, nobody wants to see Haney versus oh dude, he fighting, because we don't want to see you fight. We don't care if you win or lose that fight. We want to see Garcia knock you out again. We don't want to see him do it. So it don't matter. Teofimo Lopez, you should be fighting better competition than what you got. I don't know what you even got going on. So that's a dud. Garcia and Romero, the only fight I somewhat understand in a way. Okay, I somewhat understand it, somewhat. But even then, they are not a main card headliner. Whose decision is it? Who headlines what card? If you wasn't sure about them headlining, you should have moved another fight to this card, or moved this card to another fight to have a bigger headline. Is what they should have did. But nah, they try to do it with them three, and it ain't gonna work. Not on the East Coast, it's not gonna work. So that was a dumb move.
Facts, bro. I mean, it's just a stupid move in general, bro. Like I said on my video the other day, I said they should easily have this fight in the Barclays, the small arena for MSG. You know what I mean? Like it just makes more sense to do business like that and make some money, bro. Like like Eddie Hearn explained it as Turkey wants that just he wants this to be more of a TV experience. Just to wow the fans to be like, this is something that
Wow.
they never seen before and stuff. Like just like the similar with Turkey with Alcatraz, for instance. Him with hey, shout out to my boy All Things, man. Salute to my dog for sure, man. Hey, just similar to like Turkey with with the card that he wants to do in Alcatraz. Like he wants to fight in a prison that's not even open. Not even, you know what I'm saying? Like
Bro,
it's not even open. It's not even up and running. You know what I'm saying? He
bro,
want to have a card in Alcatraz, bro. Like nobody cares about this type of shit in boxing.
you right, bro. You right. He got exactly what he wanted. He wanted everybody to say, "Wow." That's what we saying. Wow, because they all ain't sell shit. That's why we saying, "Wow." So it ain't. It was a dumb move. It was a complete dumb move. They went to Turkey because Turkey gonna give him the money for it, but Turkey makes bad decisions when it comes to where he book fights. He can't even sell his own country out. So how you gonna come over here and sell America out and they don't even like him? That don't make sense. That don't make sense.
Bro, man, dog, this dude don't even know, bro. Like he don't know shit about boxing, bro. And he's around promoters, but the promoters that he's around, they're not even. It just look like they don't even teach him how to move in boxing. Like Eddie Hearn knows. Eddie Hearn even said himself, I wouldn't take this loss from the gate like this ever myself. But hey, Turkey, he wants to do this. He said he wants to, have the TV experience for the fans and wow the fans and stuff, whatever. So that's what he's doing right now, bro. And it's just real life nasty work for real, bro. Like it's just like this card, the fights. I love the fights. I ain't gonna lie, I love the fights for the card because I think Ryan and Rolly, that fight definitely makes sense for the card
That
for
makes
them
sense.
being main event. Devin and Jose Ramirez. I always said, everybody called me like, "Oh, Cam, you a Devin hater?" No, I don't hate Devin. You know what I'm saying? I don't like him, but I don't hate him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I would say I don't like him. I don't like. I don't hate him at all. Like, but at the same time, like I said, Devin should get him a tune-up fight. You know what I'm saying? Before he get into the rematch with Devin, I mean with Ryan, and that's what exactly he doing. He taking a soft touch fight, which is really not a soft touch because Jose Ramirez, yeah, he's an older fighter. He's in his 30s, but at the same time, like, does have a great left hook, which is we already seen. Devin is vulnerable to from Ryan
Hmm.
Garcia, but Jose Ramirez is not the fighter that Ryan Garcia is, as far as being
Mm-mm.
that fast or powerful for real. Even though his style of fighting, for his pressure, does make the fight interesting. So it's definitely an interesting fight to see. And then Teofimo Lopez with Honor Barboza. Honor Barboza been calling out Teofimo Lopez for a long time.
Yeah.
And Honor Barboza has been Tio's mandatory. So that's the reason why this fight has happened because it's a Mando fight. But Arnold Barboza, he got a chance with T.O. Maybe it might be a Cambosa's upset like T.O. did with that fight, possibly. We don't know. We already know T.O. when he fights down to his competition, he looks
Hmm.
bad in them fights.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He's a real inconsistent fighter. T.O. don't really get up. only for like fights that he feel like he can lose for real. And
Mm-hmm.
this fight, he feel like he can't lose to Arnold Barboza. He feel like this dude is not on my level for real. So we'll see what happens in this fight. But as far as the fight card in general, I like the card, but the idea of this card being on Times Square is just
Stupid.
utterly stupid. It's just
Stupid.
stupid. It's just stupid.
Stupid.
It's just like Turkey selling car. He giving out free cars just for people to get they come to the fights, bro. Like he just do stupid stuff in boxing that
Dumb.
just don't mean shit, bro. It's meaningless in boxing. We just want to see the fights, bro. Like we don't care about all of the extra shit with the performances and shit. I don't care about it. I just want to see the fights, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know
And
what
he
I'm
get
saying?
advice from someone who not even in the boxing business. Like, that's like Elon Musk and Trump. You getting advice from someone who don't even do what you do. That's
Man,
stupid.
bro,
So
utterly stupid, bro. Just stupid, bro. Like, and that's why Turkey, I think that Saudi Arabia, they pulled back. They said, bro, if you gonna spend money over there in the
mhm,
US, you're gonna be spending your own dime. We ain't
exactly.
spending money for fights in Saudi Arabia. And that's only what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
all of these turkey lovers, they over there, they love some turkey, but they understanding that he's been making the game bad with these failing events. A lot of these events flopping, bro.
What
Like
what's the best?
a
What's the
business,
best?
the business of boxing is it will never be complete and great if we're losing money on events. It just doesn't
Mhm.
make sense. And then just even if you have your own business in general, for yourself, like you have your own business, who wants to sit there and lose millions of dollars? Even if
Mhm.
you're a billionaire or a trillionaire, who wants to sit there and lose millions of dollars, bro, for no reason, bro? It's just stupid.
My problem is I feel like a lot of them guys are trying to sell out, like you said, with bad cards. They're trying to sell out like how Floyd did or other guys did when you don't even got those type of fighters on your card. You got all these mid card guys expecting to have a giant card off of that. Like, it's not
Man,
gonna happen. That's
bro, he
just
got
not gonna happen.
bro. He's dealing with a whole bunch of B-side fighters
Hmm.
that just want guaranteed pay. That's all
Yep.
they want.
And it's,
They
he
want
expecting
guaranteed
to.
pay. Like Bud Crawford, Shakur, Devin,
Hmm.
all them guys, they want guaranteed money. They don't want
Hmm.
to have to sell out an arena and promote the fight and up their brand so they can make money. They don't want to get money from the back end. They don't want to, they don't want to, bet on themselves pretty much. They don't want to bet on themselves to get money on the back end because they know they don't got no damn fans. They don't want to put the
Hmm.
work in to sell. They
Hmm.
understand, and then they wonder why people don't like them for real. Like, bro, because y'all don't, bro, y'all don't even interact with the fans for real the right way. Y'all don't,
Exactly.
y'all interviews be ass. Like, you
Yep.
know what I'm saying? The press conference be ass. Like,
Hmm.
nobody, y'all do things that make the fans don't want to see y'all guys.
Yep.
Like, that's
PBC PBC got the best build up to their fight. PBC got the
Yes,
best build
they
up, man.
promote the fights perfectly, bro.
Hmm.
Perfectly. And then what's the problem with the back, bro? The back end money, facts, Brian, facts, my boy. Hey, the back end money was what the great. They love the back end money. Like
It's
people
crazy,
don't
man.
sell the fights the same no more, bro.
They
Like,
don't. And I ain't gonna lie, these
you know what
fighters.
I'm saying?
Another reason Turkey having a little bit of success with signing fighters is because these fighters want that big bag that PBC and Top Rank gonna get, but PBC and Top Rank not gonna give it to them because they're not at that status yet. Turkey gonna give it to them because he want to buy them fighters over and think that's gonna help him out. Now you got him fighting trash competition, so it's stupid.
I mean, see, the thing is, PBC they don't give big guarantees for fights.
Hmm.
They don't give big guarantees. They give you a small guarantee, and then you catching everything on the back end.
Hmm.
Top rank, they do give guarantees. Top rank, a reason why ESPN and Top rank, they done had like a real riff raff for real was due to the fact that a lot of the events they're they're overpaying some of the fighters that they have. Like a guy
Hmm.
like Bud Crawford, when you putting a guy like Bud Crawford on pay per view and on Top Rank, he wasn't bringing nothing to the table. He wasn't
Hmm.
making Top Rank profit. They wasn't making no profit off of Bud Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why Bob Brown was like, "Hey, man, I could have bought a house in Maui and how much money I
Mm-hmm.
done lost from Bud Crawford." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's saying he lost millions of dollars on Bud Crawford. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like, that's just the proof in the pudding for that, man. And it goes back to uh what my family 2 cents said. She said, "Hey, daggone Top Rank, they don't know how to build pay-per-view stars, and they don't care about pay-per-view
They
stars." You know
don't.
what I'm saying? The last recent one they had was what, Tyson Fury. He's about the only one. I mean, no, but Turbiev is on Top Rank. He fight. You know what I'm saying?
They got Shushu, right?
Yeah, Shushu, but you know he fighting free TV. Marquis was good.
Yeah.
Cuzzo, Gene was good, man. Hey, everybody subscribe to Ring Wall Boxing Podcast, man. That's family over there, man. Subscribe to family over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Let me read the comments real quick. My boy Big Play Sports, he said Top Rank just have a problem with promotion. If they would spend some serious money on promoters and ads, they could do way bigger numbers. Now, I would say this: Top Rank, the problem what they having for real, like the problem what they having is more so is they the way they promote fighters, they use a older way of promoting fighters. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like the way they do things, like how, and I hate this example. I hate this example, but this is a prime example. I literally think they put these guys like Devin Haney up to shit like this.
Not that
Far as
bad.
the whole tank, the tank, to attach your name to the bigger fighter. That
Mm-hmm.
they love to do that. So like they did with Bud Crawford, they attached his name to Earl Spence. Like
Mm-hmm.
they did with Tank Davis. They didn't attach Shakur's name to Tank, Devin's name
Mm-hmm.
to Tank. Um who else? Keyshawn now. They even trying to attach Abdullah Mason name to Tank. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. You know what I mean? Like they love to attach fighters' names to other bigger fighters' names.
Well, it
I
might work
mean, the
now.
this the promote the fighters, which it does work, but it don't work all the time for these guys.
It might work now with them. It'll be
The
PBC.
prospect, exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. BK, they use the prospect model, bro. The
Mm-hmm.
project module. That's what they do, bro. And that shit don't work all the time for them. It don't work. It
Mm-hmm.
don't, man. Because we're good. Because the thing is, eventually, when you keep attaching your name to a certain fighter, eventually the fans gonna want to see them fight them guys. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? And if you don't put them guys to fight them guys, then what we talking about at the end of the day? Like, you know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna mean anything.
You're right. But I ain't gonna lie, they got a chance now. Being with PBC, they got a chance to make them fights happen now.
Facts,
It ain't
facts.
no more running now with that.
You said Marquis said I said Tank name a few times and picked a couple of fans. Picked up a couple fans. Facts. Just Do was good, my boy. Hey, subscribe to Just Do Boxing, man. He be cooking over there for
So
sure.
is that Tank
And
and Roach fight? Is that confirmed next?
yeah, it's for sure. It's on. It's on. They got T-Mobile Arena locked in and everything. Yo, you go on T-Mobile on website, they
Mm-hmm.
got it on there and everything, man. Not they got that date specifically locked for us, no TGB promotions and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
they locked in for sure, man. Yeah, so we can get to the next topic. So speaking of PBC, they just announced this week Jamal Charlo and Caleb Plant fighting on the same card May 31st in Las Vegas. But they
Answer this.
fighting different ops though.
Answer
But
this question, bro. When? How long is Jamal Charlo gonna be pro and fight nobody?
well, I did a little research on the dude he fighting today. I ain't gonna lie. I ended up watching an interview from Thomas Lamanna earlier, man. And salute to my boy Thomas Hill for sure, man. What's good, my boy? Um, yeah, man. I ended up watching a little clip from watching an interview for Thomas Lamanna where he was talking about, no, he has 9 straight wins right now. 9 straight wins. His last 3-4 fights he got knockouts.
Mm-hmm.
But the only alarming thing about no Thomas Lamanna was that he lost to Eris Landy Lara. and he lost to Jorge Cota,
Mhm.
and he lost to who was the other guy that he lost to, man? Damn. Damn, that guy made me look up. He lost to another guy that was valuable. Hold on, let me see.
Bro,
All right.
Jamal Charlo don't need to come back to boxing. He don't take it serious. First off, he ain't taking it serious. He make the same post every year talking about he back in the gym, and we don't see him to the year after.
Brian Mendoza. That's who it is. He lost to Brian Mendoza.
Look, the only Charlo I see is Jamel. I don't want to see Jamal. Jamal, you got slapped by Caleb Plant and still ain't got your face back. So we ain't forgot about that slap. We ain't forgot about it. You look worse than Jamel losing to Canelo, and all you did was get slapped. So it's he need to be fighting Caleb Plant, but I understand Caleb ain't no pushover opponent, and Caleb has been active. So I do feel like Caleb would have washed Jamal. I ain't gonna lie, Caleb would have washed him possibly because Jamal not active, and he keep claiming he
This
got mental.
Jamal, remember this Jamal at 168 now. So he in a new weight class, and I mean, this fight right here, this is a good little fight for Jamal to just to get back in the swing of things, fighting Thomas LaManna.
Mm,
Thomas LaManna, he's a game opponent. He said that he was talking some crazy stuff on there, man. He was talking like he was saying he was gonna F Charlo up and stuff. He was talking
bro,
big a little bit, man. So it may be a little interesting to see him in this fight for real, like.
bro, answer
And
this question.
but
Answer this
what
question.
one I ain't gonna lie, one thing that caught my eyes in the interview was he he said he said Resendez, the dude that's fighting Caleb Plant, he's gonna
Mm,
beat Caleb Plant's going to beat him easily. Like Caleb
mm,
Plant's not losing that fight, but he
mm.
said it's disrespectful for them, for like the fans and media and stuff to already assume like, oh, this is a clash collision for Jamal Charlo and Caleb Plant and stuff, and they just sleeping on him and everything. So he was, I understood what he was saying, but hey, that's what it's gonna come with the game.
Bro,
They're gonna think Jamal Charlo's gonna step on you automatically. So that's just a given. You feel me?
answer this question. Name a boxer outside of Tyson Fury, and if you want to go older, George Foreman. Name a boxer who take breaks and come back and be active again.
Man, I
Active
mean,
again. I ain't say come back and have a fight or
it's
two.
bro,
Active.
it's a few guys out here now doing the same thing, bro. So
Bro, Jamal ain't got it in him no more. Jamel, I can see. Jamal ain't got it in him no more, man. He ain't got it in him. He don't got it in him. Even his last fight, he ain't look good. Matter of fact, even Jamal Charlo in his prime didn't look good. So how can y'all sit here and say that Jamal didn't look good in his own prime?
facts. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, bro. This is my thing about Jamal. I feel like Jamal had a great, like he was doing. He had a great run when he was active, bro. But when you get to drinking and partying and doing too much, you spending some of that bread a little bit. You know what
Bro,
I'm
you
saying? That
lying.
you profiting and everything, bro. Like you know what I'm saying. You messing up the game. Like he had a lot of personal stuff, a lot of mental issues and stuff going on. So I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying. I don't want to harp on him too much due to it. But I will say this though. I felt like Maul definitely, you know, bro, you had a great thing going on when you was on your run. You know what I'm saying? And then for you to, being active, you stop your run, like it make the fans look worried because then now we looking at you in the fight that you had with Jose Benavidez Jr., where like you won the fight, but it was a sloppy fight for real. You know what I'm saying? Like it was a slop. Like you brought Jose Benavidez up to 160. He was fighting at 154 for a while. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he ain't even a natural 160 guy. You know what I'm saying? And you barely got through that fight for real. So I mean, with this fight happening with Thomas LaManna, I'm curious to see how Maul look. I do commend Maul and him and Jamel, both of them back in the ring together, working together and everything for sure. So I definitely commend it, and I like to see it for sure. And I'm looking forward to seeing this fight with him and Thomas LaManna, especially after watching LaManna's interview for sure. And Caleb Plant, man, like Caleb Plant, we, we know he gonna. I think he definitely gonna do his thing. He gonna win that fight, and it's no doubt in my mind. This fight is PBC. They got the whole clash collision going on where they gonna fight each other, man. They gonna both win both of these fights for sure, and they gonna
Bro,
move forward.
No, I still don't agree with you on that, man. First off, I don't think Jamal Charlo had no run. Even though he was champion, he had no run. There is no fight that stands out.
I understand you saying based off of like the guys he fought, like
No,
he ain't
no,
get you
no, I ain't
fight the
saying off
guy.
that. No, based off his performance. When has Jamal Charlo looked impressive? Not Jamel. Jamal, don't get their fights mixed up. When has Jamal looked impressive?
I mean, shit. A lot of people was thinking Jamal was the better fighter at one point than both of them, both of the
Man,
twins.
that's the first point. The second point is you just pointed out how he came back, fought a guy from a lower weight class, and both of them looked sloppy. If he wanted to fight Caleb Plant, it would have happened. That should have been his return fight to fight Caleb Plant. Now we're gonna wait years
I don't
all.
disagree.
Now
I
we're
don't
gonna wait
disagree.
years all over again for you to see if you look up to par with this guy. And if you don't, we're gonna wait again for you to fight. He ain't gonna fight Caleb Plant, man. It's not gonna happen. He don't got the drive to be champion again. Who he got? And first off, Canelo holding the weight class up. Number one, Canelo will run through Jamal more than faster. He ran through Jamel, honestly, because Jamel was active. Jamal wasn't. So you expect the guy who looks sloppy against a guy in a lower weight class to take hiatus and come back in a new weight class and not be sloppy again? After how he went in his prime, he wasn't even that great. So no, I don't got no more hope for Jamal. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't got no more hope. If it was Jamel versus this guy, I'll watch it way more. I don't have no more hope for Jamal, bro. That's just me. I don't. He beat J Rock, man. Look, man, come on, man. Look, I don't. Hey, look, I'm just hard on boxers. I don't got no more hope for Jamal. I don't.
You like, but you like Jamal. That's kind of, I think that's kind of where you coming from. Like you was a fan where like
No, I like
want
Jamel. I like Jamel. Jamal, I thought he was trash when he had the belt. I did. I thought he was
what?
trash. Yes, he was trash. Jamal Charlo trash. All
No.
his fights was close. All his fights was. I was looking
He
like he
was
won.
stopping, bro. He was stepping on
He
shit, bro.
wasn't stepping on. Come on, bro. You think
He
about
was
Jamel.
stepping on guys, bro. Jamel, what both of them was, bro. They
Jamel
both
was
was
stepping.
stepping.
Jamel was stepping.
Who was stepping better? I say Jamel because he was fighting. I felt like he fought better competition than Jamal. But Jamal, he got blocked out of some opportunities too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Bro,
Maul, I felt
Jamal
like,
the better
yeah,
fighter.
Marquis. At one point, I felt like Maul was the better fighter at one point between them two. At
Man,
one point.
y'all on something, bro.
Like that was
Bro,
just me.
Maul
But
has the
Mel,
better.
yeah, exactly, Marquis. Mel he has the better career between the two.
Nothing about Jamal Charlo is trash. He had two truly competitive fights out of 30. Hey,
That's
hey, look,
that's
look.
that's
I don't
Marquis.
hate on nobody, bro. I wish Jamal looked good. I just at his age and me, I don't think he was that great in my opinion. His division he was at wasn't that strong. Well, he was at 160, right?
Thanks, Marquis. Who
Yeah,
to my
Jamal was
Maul?
at
Yeah,
160.
he's at 160.
Yeah, but I just don't see it happen. That's just me. Jamal, you up there in your 30s and stuff like that. You have not been active in the past 5 years. You held the belt for how long? 2, 3 years? And defended how many times?
He had it for a while. I don't know
And didn't
exactly how
defend it.
long
And
he
didn't
held it, but
defend it.
he
So
had the
yeah,
belt for a while.
man, look, man, Jamal
I
Charlo,
mean, it
man,
wasn't
that's
no
over with.
activity in 160 though. Like it wasn't no motion in 160.
You
For
said
real.
what?
Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't no motion in 160 for real. To be
Bro,
honest.
it wasn't no motion
Especially
at
after
one.
Canelo left. I mean, he left at 168. And then,
Bro,
a lot
you
of people
seen
try to
Jamel.
move up to chase him, and Maul didn't go up to 168 to chase him for real. But he
Yeah.
was set to fight Canelo like a couple times recently and just couldn't pull it together. I don't know. He just his
Bro,
personal
you
life,
you you
bro.
helping my point. You said 160 was no game. Okay, here a big fight, Canelo. No, no, no. You said you missed that fight so many times your little brother had to fight him. Man, no, come on, man. No, I'm done with Jamal Charlo. Nah. He ain't never gonna fight. First off, we know he's scared, like somebody in the comments say he's scared because when he got slapped, what he do? He stood there. He got
Money,
slapped, stood
he
there.
said money kill fighters' careers. Hey, man. Hey,
Hey, it's
hey,
over with.
bro.
It's over with for Jamal.
It
It's over
depends
with.
how they deal with their money, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you got these fighters that's out there, they partying a lot and
That's
you know,
Spence.
they shopping and everything, you know, blowing a lot of money and stuff. And then you got some of the fighters that's saving their money, investing in businesses and doing certain stuff. It's just depends what they do with their money, man. But no, in the case with Maul, no, Maul and Mel, I could say both of them. More so, Mel was the more focused fighter, you know what I'm saying, between the two, I would say. You know what I'm saying? It had the better, and it has the better career between the two. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We'll see if we get this clash collision between Maul and Plant, man. You know what I'm saying? And we already got Edgar Berlanga ducking Caleb Plant. Hey man, I watched Edgar Berlanga's interview with the one cats, man. The one guy that just did the interview with Tank Jay Hill from
Oh, okay.
Baltimore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he just did an interview with Jay Hill from Baltimore, bro. And he was in there, he was in there going crazy. Yo, come here. My dog going crazy out here.
Yeah.
Now, come here. Come here. So so he did an interview with Jay Hill and everything, right? And daggone dude dude was on there talking wild crazy, bro. Talking like, man, I'm the A side. Like he really believes he's the A side in every fight. He said he's the A side in a fight with Jamal Charlo, um, Caleb Plant, Edgar, Mangia, Hami McGear. Like he said he's the A side in all of these fights besides Canelo. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Guys,
Like this
bro, God,
the
God,
delusion of this guy, Edgar Berlanga, bro. Like he's talking like he's worth 30 million. Like he's like, I'm a boss, I can do what I want and stuff, this and that. Like, I'm gonna give Caleb Plant 200K and I'm gonna make $30 million and stuff. I'm I'm the A side. I send you the contract. Like he talking all this crazy stuff, bro.
bro. I will
But
say that it's like you said before, bro. Like you know who you fight can make your bag go up. So he just hyped off of that. That loss did more for him than anything in his career. So he hyped off of that.
bro, this man literally thinks the biggest fight. He said he think he had the toughest fight for Canelo. He's on record saying, "I gave Canelo his toughest fight."
Who you think gave Canelo's toughest fight in the recent years?
Recent years,
Yeah,
shit.
not Mel, not Caleb.
I
You
mean,
gonna say
Caleb was tough for a while. It was
what?
competitive.
Yeah. What about Triple G? You gonna say Triple G or
I
something?
say Caleb's fight with Canelo was more tough, even though he stopped him. I think it was more tough
Yeah.
than Berlanga for real. To be in my opinion, this is my opinion, but you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying. Like Bivol, of course,
Yeah, but well, he lost the Bivol. That's
you know
obvious. So he
Bivol in
lost the
recent. You can
Bivol.
say Bivol. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Berlanga, bro, he just talking this shit. Obviously, the shit he's saying is false, but he just talking this shit because his bag up now because he fought Canelo. Now people know who he is. You know, we live in a time where you can get big off of who you fight, even if you lose. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, Garcia had a big name for social media, but since fighting Tank, they watching Garcia more. You know what I'm saying? So it's just how it is. Look at Pitbull. Pitbull's a prime example. Fought Tank. Look at him now. People don't mention that weight class without saying Pitbull now. So.
everybody
It,
calling Pitbull out.
yeah, so it's that's just how it is when you fight
All the
somebody
Tank
that's the face,
ops, Tank
huh?
Keyshawn, Shakur, all them Devin, all them boys want to call out Pitbull, man.
Yeah, but you know what's crazy to me though? Let me ask you this question. I want to get you off topic. Do you
But
feel like Lamont Roach stock rolls is high? Do you think Lamont Roach stock is higher than the guys Tank beat now?
for the time being.
You think for the time
For the time being. That's my answer for it. For the time being. For the
yeah.
time being. He hot right now, but soon as June 21st come, gonna take the steam off.
You think he can stop this time?
He probably getting stopped this time. Tank ain't gonna be so, bro. That was like a sparring match, bro.
They
Tank
cool.
ain't gonna be
They
friendly
like
with
buddy.
this
That
man
was like
in
buddy
his next
buddy.
fight.
That was like buddy buddy though. So when I seen it, I was like, yeah, they friends,
Yeah,
man.
bro. Like it was a sparring match. Tank ain't gonna be friendly for this rematch. Trust me, it won't. It ain't gonna be no friendly shit. The build
I want
up,
to see
the
what
press
Mad.
conference, all of that. Tank
I,
stepping.
I want to see what Mad Tank look like. That's what I want to see. I want to see what a Mad Tank look like.
Oh, he mad. Lamont did enough to make him mad after the fight.
And
Enough. Enough.
then Shakur trying
Compared,
to step in and get
he
a
on his
fight.
Devin Haney shit and everything. Like he did enough.
Oh man, but I ain't gonna have you get off the topic, man. What we going
Uh,
with? What we going with next?
okay. Um, Yeah, I want to get your take on this. So Bud Crawford was in an interview recently, of course, and Bud Crawford was talking about Manny Pacquiao. Man, he was mentioning Manny Pacquiao, how he was moving up, in these weight classes when he was at one of the lowest weight classes, moving up, knocking out guys and stuff, and basically insinuating that Manny Pacquiao is on the peds, man, pretty much. So what's your opinion about that, brother? As far as
Craw-
Bud Crawford calling Manny Pacquiao a drug cheat.
Crawford, I don't know what he got going on, but I feel like Crawford be trying to like diminish some people's legacies and try to boost his own because he's moving up in weight classes also. So he's trying to make it seem like I'm the guy to be doing that and stuff. But Crawford need to sit down. Pacquiao not like that, man. Pacquiao wasn't that type of guy. Pacquiao, he had a better career than you. Pacquiao had a better career than you. And Pacquiao fought top competition at every weight class. He didn't say, "Oh, I want to fight him way up there, so I'm going straight there." He fought every top guy on every level he was going up. But that's what you should have did. You should have fought the top guy at 54, then the top guy 160, then the top guy 168. Nah, you want to go to 54, fight Madrimov, and jump to 68 and fight Canelo. You know what I'm saying? So, Bud, bro, you can't talk like I understand you have a voice to your opinion, but I don't buy it. And Bud is talking way too. He making himself look worse. Really, he make himself look worse. I was more of a fan of Bud before he fought Spence than how he acting now. You know what I'm saying? Bud need to chill out, be about business, and build back on to his legacy. He got a great legacy, man, but he talking like he, pound for pound top 10 fighters ever, or top five ever. And then it's not he not that. He not that.
Man, I didn't get to give a take about this, but so I had to add this topic into to the conversation today, man, for sure, bro. Like, all right, bud, let me talk to you, bro, on this, man. Bud, man, dog. All right. So when you speak on things like this, like on a guy like Manny Pacquiao, like this, they're going to look back at you. So, so the return is going to come back on you. They're going to look at things like you working with Victor Conte and Snack, for
Mm-hmm.
instance. You having that relationship right there, a lot of people's going to question that. Then they're
Mm-hmm.
going to look back at your fights that you done had, because you was in a smaller weight class and you was moving up, stopping guys. Your first
Mm-hmm.
fight at 154, you ain't stopped Madrimov. You
Mm-hmm.
stopped everything at 147.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't stopped Madrimov at 154. So you
Mm-hmm.
gonna have some people sit up there and be like, "Hey, Bud ain't stopped nobody at 154. Like he ain't stopped Madrimov. He worked with Victor Conte. What's up with that?" You gonna have people start pulling the questions on you now. So that that's my thing about some of these fighters when they be in these interviews. They don't sit there and think about what they say before they say it. Like
Mm-hmm.
Bud is a prime example for it because every interview he gets in, I'm going to, everybody know me. I'm a guy that I like to point out a lot, these guys lies and contradictions, and then a lot of people they put the blame on me and they attack me for it and stuff, saying I'm hating on the fighters and all of that shit. But I keep it real. I gotta call what I see.
I
And
agree.
and the thing is, what I see from Bud, every time he gets on these interviews, he don't think about what he says, and he says dumb shit like, "Oh, Earl Spence, he ain't no Hall of Famer and shit." And then he says something like this, talking about Manny Pacquiao, which is the crazy part. I just literally seen Edgar Berlanga in the interview that I watched earlier. He said the same exact shit about Manny Pacquiao being a drug cheat as well. So then it took me back. I'm like, damn, y'all. I mean, they mentioned the Floyd example for as Floyd, blood testing and all of that, etc. and stuff. Understandable. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
If y'all want to have that thought out there on Manny, that's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not mad at it 100%. But some of you fighters gotta watch out how y'all carefully talk about these things. As a prime example, Bud Crawford, they looking at your relationship with Victor Conte and Snack, and that's an iffy relationship because we know Victor Conte, he's the Pablo Escobar of PEDs over there. He know how to get motherfuckers off on the damn steroids without it being detected. You know what I'm saying?
Let me shut Bud up real quick. Watch this. Watch this. Errol Spence fought a compo. Remember he fought a compo.
Yep.
That's some people label him as a nobody. Some say he was a good competition, some say he was a nobody. Bud fought Madrimal. How did Spence get paid more and get more fans and pack the building out more with a compo? And
Facts.
you beat Spence and got Madrimal next and couldn't do it. Let's see you fight a compo. Nobody can be in the audience but your kids. That's it.
Facts.
Let's see you go fight a compo. So no, all that Spence ain't no Hall of Famer. He is Spence. He was a guy. He does his personality, whatever. He had a lot of fans off of that. And then the way he fight, he was bulldozing through everybody. Crawford, you ain't even trying to fight everybody at the top weight class everywhere that you're going now. You just want automatic respect. And you also just now blowing up in the later end of your career. Spence blew up early. You
Facts.
blew up late and you trying to demand respect now and fight Canelo. So I'm glad you got your flaws and stuff now, but these fighters who blow up late in their career and stuff, always acting like they always been this great. You had a chance to showcase your greatness more than you did, and you're not taking that chance. You just want to go straight for Canelo. If I was Bud, I would fight the best at 54. You think the best guy is, I'm gonna fight him. 160, whoever the best at 160, I'm fighting him. Then I bring up Canelo. That's what I would do. I wouldn't go straight to fight Canelo because when you lose, you just leave in boxing. That's all you doing. You should have been fighting Jamel Charlo. That's what the fight you should have had was Jamel Charlo and unified, but no. So yeah,
Facts, man. Facts, man. And then we can just go ahead and go to the next topic, which is this is an interesting topic. So Brian Norman Junior and Senior, they out here in the interview streets going crazy out here after the fight, after Brian Norman Jr. knocked out Derek Cuevas this past Saturday. And they said that they won't smoke with Mario Barrios instead of Boots. Boots and Stanionis is on the horizon next Saturday, April 12th. They fighting a unification fight next week
mm-hmm.
for the titles at 147. And we got Brian Norman Jr. on record saying that he wants to fight Mario Barrios instead of Boots, the winner of Boots and Stanionis. How
I
you
think
feel about that?
I think it's somewhat a Crawford Spence approach. I think they're trying to both snatch them belts up and then have a fight. That's what I think is going on. Cause most guys have a big hiatus after a fight anyways, probably like an 8 month, 9 months. So Brian try to line up Mario Barrios in the fight. They both win. He see himself winning. Now you got nobody but Boots and Brian Norman. That's all
And
it
that's
is.
what it looked like.
Yeah,
It looked like they
that's
trying
all
to
it
do that
is.
like that. And I think because one thing that caught me because I said it in one of my videos recently where I was like with Brian Norman where I was saying that right now it looks like no he's either going to have that fight for us fighting trying to get a fight with Mario Barrios,
Mm-hmm.
or I know the guy Jen Sasaki, the number two guy in the WBO at 147. He came out and he was at the fights last week, and he showed
Mm-hmm.
up and chopped it up with Brian Norman and said that he wants to fight and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it and then you got the Normans is basically saying that they can go to Japan and fight him and you know what I'm saying? And, like we don't know. This is my thing. Brian Norman, y'all was screaming out Boo's name. The fight was almost made. They offered y'all biggest bag, and y'all basically turned it down. Y'all went away. Y'all dug Boo.
I still see why he turned it down. Like, okay, if I was Brian Norman, well, him talking shit got him the fame he got now. Like, got him a little clout, anyways. But the reason he didn't take that fight because let's say he would have lost to Boots. Now Boots going straight after Mario Barrios and the dude he fighting right now. And Brian Norman is back in the contending part or trying to get an interim belt. You know what I'm saying? So Brian sees Barrios has a belt and he thinks Barrios is an easier competition than Boots. Like I said, him and Boots can get it on to unify the division. That's what I
Yeah,
see.
they want to build it as
Yeah.
a bigger fight. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But this is my thing with Boots. With Boots, say he beats Danny on this next week, Boots can move on and be like, shit, I'm gonna go ahead and fight. I'm gonna go and try to fight Mario Barrios. I can try to collect that belt, and then
He could
boom,
do it that way too.
I
He could
can
do that.
move up to 154 after that. I don't even gotta worry about Brian Norman because he up here playing games.
No, Boots said he ain't going to 54 until he unified. Boots did say that. So
Yeah, I see Boots honestly probably unifying maybe one more title after the fight with Stanionis, and then he moving up. You know what I'm saying? Because what's the worth of trying to try to fight Brian Norman when they playing around already? They already played around in negotiations already.
do you think
You know?
Brian Norman can beat Boots?
Nope, nope. I like Brian Norman. I think he's a great fighter.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he's a great fighter. I don't think he can beat Boots. I think he can make it a great fight. More so, I think I would want to get my opinion a little bit more after I see Boots this next Saturday.
Oh, okay. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to talk and build up for that fight this next week for sure, because that's gonna be a banger.
All
Both of
right.
them guys, standing on as a Boots, they gonna bang it out crazy for sure. Like for sure. Let me read my boy Jane. He said, at least Norman Jr. made a statement fighting a guy who was not his level, got him out of there, not going the distance. Shakur should have handled badly in the same manner. That's a fact. I 100% agree. 100% agree. But the
Yeah.
thing was, like, Brian Norman was impressive with his performance with Cuevas because I thought Cuevas was a game opponent for Brian Norman because we did our
Mm-hmm.
predictions last week, me and my boy Doobie, and
Mm-hmm.
he was like, "Hey man, he a game opponent. Like this is gonna be a little decent fight because Quaver's coming in with some power. You know what I'm saying? So Brian Norman, he showed up and showed out last week, and I'm interested to see where he goes from here, man, for sure. So we can go into the next topic. Um, Tank Roach fight. I'm gonna do this. This the last topic before I get into the predictions for the fights for this weekend. Last
Mm-hmm.
topic. Possible Tank card in full right now, man. This is some news. Now I'm gonna break them all following, but this ain't 100% so. But this is from some sources that I got. Shout out to my boy Knockout Boxing 86 TV. You know what I'm saying? He was the one that came out with this report a couple days ago. You know what I'm saying? And he said that it's not 100% solid, but it's what's being talked about right now. Of course, Tank Roach locked in for T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, June 21st, Juneteenth weekend. And then possible as the co-main, possible Alberto Puello versus Gary Anton Russell, a fight that I spoke about in the video that I
Yeah.
dropped recently, where I was saying that PBC would be smart to make that unification happen at 140 between Puello and Anton Russell.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a fight that's possibly the co-main. Um, as they already reported, Oshaki Foster fighting Stephen Fulton, which is Stephen Fulton's moving up to 130 from 126 to make that fight happen for Foster's WBC title at 130. And the fourth fight will be the fight to start the night off will be Bruce Shushu Carrington fighting for the vacant WBC title, which is Fulton will be vacating his 126 title to go up to 130 to fight Foster. Shushu Carrington fighting for the vacant WBC 126-pound title versus Ray Vargas. Ray Vargas is a PBC fighter. So you got top ranked PBC. You already got that matchup with Ray Vargas and Shushu Carrington, and then another top ranking PBC matchup with Foster and Foden right there. So you already got PBC and Top Rank working together already, and they putting this together on this card already for June 21st. So if these four fights is on the card um for us Tank and Roach for us the rematch June 21st, this card is gonna be amazing. And I'm
Yeah.
already knowing they're gonna put together some decent fights for the prelims for sure too as well. So PBC working, man. PBC,
Now that's
they
a good call.
active.
How you
They
feel about
act.
Shushu? Shushu called out Inouye and Fulton. How you feel about the two fights will go?
I mean, anyway, not ready yet. Not ready. I'll be real. Shushu ain't ready for that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Now, Foden would it be an interesting fight. But
Hmm.
this the thing. At the 126 landscape, you got Leo. You got Angelo Leo. He has one of the titles. Rafael Espinosa. He's a top ranked fighter. And then you got Nick Ball. He has that other title. And then
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Foden has a title. Shushu's the mandatory for Foden and Espinosa.
Mm-hmm.
Espinosa, top ranked fighter. Shushu could easily go for that fight, but
Mm-hmm.
he's going the WBC route because he think Foden is an easy pick for real,
Mm-hmm.
honestly. And top rank, they thinking like, okay, maybe we can go ahead and get Shushu a belt through the WBC, and then we got two titles at 126 over there. You know what I'm saying? That's what top rank be thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And just looking at it with Shushu, I like Shushu a lot. I think he's a great fighter. I definitely rock with him for sure. I definitely would love to see him fight Foden, but with Foden fighting Foster, you know what I'm saying? This fight with Ray Vargas, it's an interesting fight as well. You know what I'm saying? Shushu get a chance to fight on a big pay-per-view card. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because the rematch is going to be even huger than the first fight for
Mm-hmm.
sure. Because everybody want to see what happens, in the rematch with Tank and Lamont. So,
Mm-hmm.
Shushu gets the opportunity to fight on another big card because you remember Shushu fought on the Tyson and the Paul card too.
Yeah.
So he gets
Mm-hmm.
another big opportunity possibly, and he gets to fight for his first world title, man. So it's a good
Yeah.
look for Shushu, man, for
This
sure.
this is a great call too. I'm gonna be honest. This is a great call. I like what PBC and Top Rank doing. This is showing Turkey how it's supposed to be, but Turkey ain't gonna top that.
Bruh, man,
Turkey can't do that.
that's what
Turkey
I'm
can't do
saying.
that.
Like the thing about it, just to segue a little bit with Turkey for a slight second. Turkey, he puts on like he'll get one big decent main event, then
Mm-hmm.
he'll put some names on there with some basically showcase fights for them.
What was
Like
the best event he
he
had?
may have
What
like one or two bangers along with the main event, but he ain't putting on a full card of bangers on there for real. And if he do, they still flopping.
what was the best event he had when they had Bacole and who was the main event when Bacole fought Jared Anderson?
Crawford Madrimov,
Would you say that was the best?
another flop.
Yeah, another. What was the best one? The Day of Reckoning or something?
Probably the dead right man. No, I say the best card he probably did was probably what was the one he did it the probably Joshua and Dubois. Profit wise, because he made some
Yeah,
money with them because they fought in the UK, and Joshua
exactly.
he's massive in the UK. So
Hmm.
I mean that you could say that probably. You know what I'm saying? Maybe made some or made a broke even at least or something. You know,
Yeah,
because they definitely they did a great gate for that fight. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? A pay-per-view, they didn't never reported the pay-per-view for that fight, though. They never reported the sales for that fight. I
yeah.
know I just thought about that. It just made me really think about that. That's nasty work right
Turkey don't like his sales getting out.
there.
He don't like that. But
For
sure,
sure.
hey man, I gotta grab my son, man. I'm gonna tap in and make
Go
sure I
ahead.
get everybody subscribed.
Go ahead, man, for sure, bro. You already know, man. I'm gonna
All
run
right,
all these
man.
predictions.
All right.
Go ahead. Yo. Okay. So you already know. We gonna get through. We got through all our topics. You feel me? So we gonna get through these projections for these fights, man. Big fights going on this weekend, and I'm gonna talk about the first fight, man. First fight on top rank, Janibek versus Ngassingu. Ngassingu. I know I probably butchered his name, but we're gonna talk about this first fight. Um, this is a 160-pound title fight. Janet Beck, 16 and 0, 11 knockouts. He's a southpaw. He got a knockout in October 2024 versus this guy Andre Mikabek. His name is crazy, man. Crazy names over there overseas, man. He got a knockout, and he's on a 3 knockout streak right now, man. He's the IBF and WBO champion at 160, and in God missing goo. He's 14 and 0, 9 knockouts. By the way, Janet Beck's a southpaw fighter, and God Missing Goo, he's an orthodox fighter. He got a knockout last year, June 2024, against Sandro his name is crazy. Ja Jan Nizi. But the thing about in God Missingu, he hasn't fought a 12-round fight yet. I mean, he's been fighting eight and a lot of 8 rounders, fought a couple 10 rounders, so not so much experience in 12-round fights. So just me personally with this fight in general with Janibek, I got Janibek winning this fight. I think he's going to possibly stop him. Janibek, if y'all watch Janibek is nasty, bro. Like, he's nice, like real nice for sure. Like, you know what I mean? And he's terrorizing that 160 division. I want to see Janibek eventually try to unify with, those guys, Carlos Adames um and Eris Landy Lara, which is both of those guys, Lara and Adamas, they both PBC fighters. Janibek, a top ranked fighter. So look forward with PBC and top rank linking up. Look forward to a unification coming soon with Janibek and Eris Landy Lara and Carlos Adamas possibly at 160 with those guys, man, for sure, man. So in this fight particular though, I got Janibek knockout probably mid rounds, I say, and got missing goo. I think he'll put up a fight for a little bit, but I got Jenny back with mid round knockout in this fight for sure, man. And it takes me on to the next fight, man. Big heavyweight fight this weekend. Joy Joe Joyce versus Philip Hergovic. Queensberry fight on the zone. Um, Joe Joyce, 16-3, 15 knockouts, orthodox fighter. In his career, he has been knocked out twice, though. By the way, just to let y'all know, his last fight he lost by unanimous decision to Derek Chisora in July 2024. Um, he also lost to Zalil Zhang twice in what was that 2023 as well. And so they got a common opponent in this fight. Filip Hrgovic, 17-1, 14 knockouts, orthodox fighter. His last fight, he lost by knockout to Daniel Dubois in June 2024 last year. But Hrgovic, he beat Zalil Zhang and by unanimous decision in 2022. So you got these guys have a common opponent, which is Hrgovic. He didn't beat Zhang before. Joy Joyce, he lost to him twice. You know what I mean? But I don't go by triangles, no theory so much. So in this fight, this is definitely going to be a fight that's not going to last all 12 rounds. Definitely. Definitely not going to last all 12 rounds. Somebody going to get knocked out in this fight for sure. It's all about who's going to be knocked out in this fight. George Joyce, he's a veteran fighter, older fighter that's been fighting for a while. Herkovic, he's the younger fighter between the two. I think he's the more athletic fighter between the two as well. Now, power, I won't say who has better power between the two, but because George Joyce, he definitely, with his 16 wins, he got 15 knockouts, so he definitely got power for sure. You know what I mean? But this fight definitely gonna come down to who's gonna have who's gonna set the better traps in the fight. Like who's gonna set the better traps, who's gonna have the better defense in the fight. Which is I think it's gonna be an all-out brawl in this fight. This fight is a 50-50 fight. I really don't have no winner in this fight, but if I was to pick somebody who would win, I would go with the younger fighter in Hrgovic because I think Queensberry, you got to think of the business. They're looking at Hrgovic as the younger fighter, and they're still branding him as a guy that they want to put up in those heavyweight top rankings. And this is a fight for him to put a name on his resume with fighting Joe Joyce in this fight and beat him, and this would be a good win for Hrgovic, to put on his resume. And if it goes to a decision and it's a close fight, they're gonna give the nod to Hrgovic because he's the fighter that they're trying to push more than Joy Joyce at the time. You know what I mean? Honestly. So this fight, I would take Hrgovic either by knockout or decision. Definitely if it goes to two decision, I'm definitely taking Hergovic. Who's gonna have the best condition in this fight? You know what I'm saying? Joe Joyce, he has a problem with his condition at times when it gets into the middle rounds. His conditioning be bad, and that's what hurt him in that Derek Chisora fight last year. Derek Chisora, he was game. He was well conditioned for the fight. Joyce wasn't. So me in this fight, I think Joyce with him definitely not being able to last with his condition, because I think his condition probably won't be any much better. Honestly, I got Hergovic winning this fight either by knockout. If it go to decision, I got Hergovic for sure. You know what I'm saying? But I can see Hergovic possibly stopping Joy Joyce in this fight for sure. So I'm going with Hergovic in this fight. Next fight, man. Abdullah Mason versus Carlos Ornales. So we going to the Richard Torres and Guido Vianello fight card that's on Top Rank um tomorrow. The only fights they got multiple fights, but I'm gonna only talk about two fights from the card. Abdullah Masons versus Carlos Anellis. Top rank fight. This is a 135-pound fight right here. They both made weight today. Abdullah, he was on a scale where like when he was on the scale first, it was like 35. His first try was 35.1, and then he tried to get on the second try, and then he ended up making it 35 even. Uh, I do. We're gonna have to. I know you well conditioned and everything, but you got to get that weight down, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get that weight right, man, you gonna have to move to 140 probably, bro. But in this fight though, Abdullah Mason, 17-0, 15 knockouts. He's a southpaw. Last fight just knocked out Emmanuel James in February this year. He has 7 knockouts in a row currently. Carlos Anellis, 28-4, 15 knockouts. He's a southpaw. By the way, just to mention, he got knocked out 3 times. By the way, his last fight he won by unanimous decision against David Petrero. In December 2023, he's been at inactive for a year and a half now. So this fight right here, easy pickings right here. Abdullah Mason, early knockout in the early rounds. And it's going to be another highlight reel for Abdullah Mason. Ain't really too much to say about this fight. Abdullah Mason was supposed to fight Giovanni Cabrera, but Giovanni had to back out of the fight due to an injury that he had. So hopefully they get that fight back going because they said they're going to revisit that fight for sure with Abdullah Mason and Giovanni Cabrera. And we're gonna already know, man. Abdullah Mason, early knockouts, know the more, man. He gonna step on dude right here. This is definitely a stepping stone fight for him. Highlight real knockout, real nasty work. You know what I'm saying? Abdullah Mason, best prospect in boxing. You know what I'm saying? Currently, y'all already know. I've been covering the kid for 3 years now, and he gets better and better. You know what I mean? For sure. Go to the next fight, man. Richard Torres versus Guido Vianello. This is in the heavyweight division, obviously. Richard Torres, high prospect, Mexican American fan base, 12-0, 11 knockouts, southpaw. Last fight knocked out Isaac Gutierrez in December 2024. So he just fought a few months ago. So top rank, they've been keeping him active. He's fighting Guido Vianello. Vi- Vianello is 13-2 with 11 knockouts. He's an orthodox fighter. He only got knocked out once. His last fight, he knocked this guy out. I'm not going to say his name in August 2024 because I will butcher this name. His name is nasty word. And by the way, um, he did lose. He lost by split decision to FA Ajigba in early 2024 last year. So something to keep in mind right there. His first like big competition, he lost to FA Ajigba, but it was by a split decision. Guido's a taller fighter. This is a great matchup for Richard Torres. We're gonna see what Richard Torres all about in this fight for sure, man. This is a tough task, and this is a step up fight for Torres, and we get to see if Torres is really one of the goods, man? Could he be one of the the next big heavyweights for the U.S. for as a Mexican American, man? Could Torres be that guy? We gonna see tomorrow night. In this fight, it's a 50-50 fight. For sure to me, I say probably like 55-45 Torres. You know what I'm saying, far as percentage wise. But I go with Torres in this fight. Um, just I don't know. I'm not gonna say by knockout or decision, either or. But I got Torres in this fight. Definitely if it go to decision because he's a top ranked guy and he's trying to, top rank. They pushing him as their guy for the heavyweight division. They're pushing him a lot more than they're pushing Jared Big Baby Anderson now. They didn't basically like put Jared on the shelf. They got Jared Big Baby Anderson fighting on the bottom of the card now instead of headlining. He was headlining cards. Now they playing Jared Big Baby Anderson cock, and they promoting Richard Torres Jr. where he's main event for this fight tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens in this fight, but I'm going with Torres in this fight for sure. And couple fights I'm gonna mention on Pro Box TV tomorrow night, just real quick before I get into the main fight that we're gonna talk about. Richard Salez versus Kent Cruz on Pro Box TV tomorrow. Salez 20-2, 15 knockouts. His last fight, he beat Romain Villa in 2024 in September. That was a crazy fight right there. Crazy fight. I remember watching that fight too, because he beat the shit out of Roman Villa in that fight. It was nasty work. And he's fighting Kent Cruz. Kent Cruz is 17-1, 11 knockouts. Um he got knocked out his last he got a knockout in his last fight, but just to keep in mind, Kent Cruz got thrashed by Gary Anton Russell in 2023, man. Like I remember watching that fight. Gary Anton Russell beat the dog mess out of that boy. Like it was nasty work. And Ken Cruz, he's a good fighter, man. So definitely an interesting fight for Pro Box TV. If y'all tapping in on that fight, I know their card is gonna be on their YouTube channel. So and another Pro Box TV fight I'm gonna mention real quick. Um Myquan Williams versus Antonio Moran. Antonio Moran, the same dude that fought Andy Cruz recently, and he fought Devin Haney, where Devin Haney got a knockout on Antonio Moran. This is a 140-pound division fight right here. Myquan Williams had a knockout in his last fight in 2024. He's on a 3 knockout streak right now. He's 22-0 with 11 knockouts. Antonio Moran 30-7, 21 knockouts. He got knocked out twice, by the way, just to mention. His last fight, obviously, he fought Andy Cruz. He got knocked out on the Crawford Madrimov card in August of 2024 last year. Interesting fight right here. It looked like to me that this is a stepping stone fight for Myquan Williams for Pro Box TV. They building him up and giving him a name because Moran was a significant name at one point in boxing at one point. And this look like this is a stepping stone fight. So it look like Mike Williams gonna step on him. And so just to put that out there. You know what I mean? So got some great fights on Pro Box TV, man. Check those out for sure tomorrow night. And the main fight that we gonna talk about on PBC in the wee hours in the morning in Australia, going into Sunday morning. So this fight is gonna be probably like 4 or 5 a.m. per se. I have to look on my app on Boxing Showtimes real quick. Let me see what they talk about on the timings real quick for this fight tomorrow, because I'm curious myself. I ain't gonna lie. So they saying it start at 4 a.m. Do they got a walkout time? Any walkout time? I'll check for it and I'll check back and let y'all know. But Tim Tszyu versus Joey Spencer on PBC in Australia, man. This is fight is at the 154-pound division. Um, this is do or die for Tim Tszyu. Do or die fight for Tim Tszyu right here, man. Um, last fight, obviously, he lost to Bakram Murtalazov in October last year. Got stopped. It was a nasty fight, bro. Bakram, he did Tim Tszyu greasy in that fight, bro. Did him super greasy. And I just it was hard to watch Tim Tszyu because I'm a fan of Tim Tszyu. I became a big fan of Tim Tszyu recently, man. I like what he stands for in boxing. He's trying to fight whoever the best is out there, and he ain't ducking no smoke out there, man. So I rock with Tim Tszyu, and I got a lot of respect for him. And just seeing him get beat by Bachram last year was nasty work, man. And of course, last year he had a bad year last year. He took 2 L's. He took his first 2 losses of his career in the pros, losing to Sebastian Fundora last year, where he was the champion at that time, man. He lost his WBO title to Sebastian Fundora last year, man. And the WBO, and I think that he captured the WBC too, because they had the WBC as the vacant title that was on deck for that fight. I mean, so he lost both of those titles as far as that fight. Tim Tszyu, of course, 24-2, 17 knockouts, orthodox fighter. Joy Spencer had a crazy career with him. 19-1, 11 knockouts. He's an orthodox fighter as well. He got knocked out once in his career. His last fight, he won beating Miguel Hernandez in December 2024. So he's been active. Um, he won his last 3 fights by decision, just to keep noted in your head. But one thing to enlighten you guys about real quick, this man Joy Spencer, he fought Jesus Ramos in March of 2023, and Jesus Ramos, he did him bad. He did Joy Spencer bad. His corner had to throw in the towel and had to stop the fight. It was that bad. You know what I mean? Like Jesus Ramos, I rock with him. I'm a big Jesus Ramos fan, man. I rock with dude, man. Yeah, he probably too big for that 154 division. He probably should be fighting at 160, honestly. But that's a whole nother story, though. But in general, though, this fight with Joy Spencer right here, bro, like, and Tim Tszyu, do or die fight for both of these guys in reality. More of a do or die fight for Tim Tszyu because he loses this fight, Tim Tszyu loses this fight, he goes to the bottom of that 154 rankings, man, and probably would be out of contention. It's going to take a while for him to build back up and get back to championship contention, man. And I don't know how it's going to work for him, man. It's a curious thing to look at for real. But this fight in particular, I think Tim Tszyu gonna show up in this fight, and with Joy Spencer's style, bro, like he's active, but he don't have the punching power. Like the question is, will Joy Spencer have the power to make Tim Tszyu respect him? You know what I'm saying? Is Tim Tszyu going to be more sharp on defense? Because in the fight with Bakram, Tim Tszyu looked like he was just trying to steamroll Joy Spencer in there, man. Like he was just trying to, I mean, not Joy Spencer, but he was trying to steamroll Bakram, just coming forward, coming straight up, not having really no game plan for us, setting traps and trying to set up, great shots or anything. It almost looked like Tim Tszyu was still kind of like in the days from the fight that he had with Fundora, with him getting the cut on his head and everything. Because it was just kind of like he was reacting, like his punch resistance was just funny in this fight with Bakram, man. So I'm curious to see Tim Tszyu's punch resistance in this fight with Joy Spencer, man. If he having flashbacks from the Bakram ass whooping he got, you know what I mean, I'm real curious to see how this fight goes. But I got Tim Tszyu winning this fight for sure. I could see Tim Tszyu possibly stopping Joy Spencer in this fight. I think Tim Tszyu style, he poses a little bit similar to Jesus Ramos in a sense. The way that he approaches fights when he's thinking, strategic, where he's setting his traps and everything, and he's pressuring, putting that constant pressure on his op. And Joy Spencer, I seen how he dealt with that pressure with Jesus Ramos, and he didn't deal with it well. He fought. He was definitely fought like a warrior, but he didn't deal with that pressure 100% well, man. And Tszyu, he can put on the same exact pressure that Jesus Ramos put on Joy Spencer, you know what I'm saying, in this fight Sunday morning, because it's Sunday morning for real. But I like Tszyu in this fight, and I'm hoping Tszyu wins this fight, because if Tszyu wins, we already seen Keith Thurman a couple weeks fight in Australia where he stopped his op, and PBC is setting up a clash collision between Tszyu and Keith Thurman if Tszyu wins this fight against Joy Spencer Sunday morning. The thing about it, Tszyu and Keith Thurman, they was locked to fight last year in March in 2024. They was going to be the first card for PBC on Amazon Prime Video, and Keith Thurman ended up having an injury where he had to pull out of the fight. Then Sebastian Fundora, he steps in the fight, fights Tszyu. Tszyu gets a cut in his head in the fight to where it made it a bloodbath fight where it was a brawl. And Fundora came out as the winner in that fight. And Fundora, he has the titles over there. And Tszyu, he's working to build himself back up because he lost to Bakram after losing to Fundora last year in October. And now Tszyu's here with Joy Spencer. It's time for Tszyu get this win. Keith Thurman, he handled his business. And I would love to see this fight between Tszyu and Keith Thurman, man. I think the styles match up very well for that fight. So hopefully Tszyu can get past Joy Spencer, and we'll see Tszyu versus Keith Thurman in Australia, because that fight will possibly be in Australia. You know what I'm saying? I can see PBC probably bringing it to America, probably. So it could possibly be in America, because PBC is trying to build Tszyu more in America. His last two fights was in America. If we look back at it. But I'm definitely interested to see how this goes. Tszyu versus Joy Spencer Sunday morning. I'll be tuned in. Of course, y'all already know I'm gonna have, if y'all follow me on Facebook and on follow me on Instagram and Threads, on Twitter as well, on KMJ Network, on all of those socials. If y'all pay attention to my page, I always be uploading, the highlights from the fights, the knockouts and everything. So y'all stay tapped in. I'm gonna keep everybody, together on the content over there for these fights tomorrow night and Sunday morning. I don't know if I'm gonna be up for this Tszyu, man. I probably will. I get up early in the morning, like I go up to work on the weekends still too, at the same time. But make sure follow KMJ Network on all socials, man. Like and comment on this video if y'all watch it on the playback, man. If y'all watch on the playback, like and comment on this video. Sub up to KMJ Network on YouTube, man. I need everybody's support, man. I need more subs, man. We on the road to 500, but really the road to 1,000, man. We trying to get to 1,000 ASAP. ASAP, and we working, man. We grinding, man. And I got a lot of different content I'm about to be pumping out other than boxing as well. We gonna get, you already know I got Buckeye Steppers and KMJ Network Daily Podcast. I'm gonna be running a lot of that for us, where we're gonna be talking about a lot of the topics around all the sports, let alone with entertainment a little bit mixed as well. So I got a lot of different content on the way. I got a new series that I got a couple new series that I'm starting. I got some interviews on the way and everything. So it's a lot of crazy content on the way, man, for sure. And this one big show that I got that I'm working on, I can't speak on it too much, but it's a big show that I'm working on that's in the works. It's gonna be big, man, for sure. I'm real excited about it, man. So KMJ Network, we got some big things in the works right now. And we working, man, for sure, man. But like I said, man, like and comment on this video, man. If y'all watching on the playback, sub up the KMJ Network on YouTube. Follow KMJ Network on all socials, man. And we working, man. I'll come back Sunday and I'm gonna do a recap Sunday. You know what I'm saying? For y'all other fights from Saturday, and then I'll go over a few topics. And then I got some videos on the way too. I got a couple Shakur videos I gotta get cook up that I didn't get to cook up. I had to redo one video from the Shakur, my live stream that I had with Shakur. YouTube didn't YouTube like messed the live up. Like they like clipped 15 minutes of my live stream to where like they messed up the main part of my topic when I was talking about Shakur wanting Tank to lose to Lamont Ropes. So I gotta record that video back. I may record it tonight and then I may drop it tonight for real, because I gotta record that back. Because that was from a few days ago. Now I'm starting to see content creators pick up on that topic now, man. Because I was one of the first ones to speak on that particular topic for real in general. But and I got some other shit that I'm doing and stuff boxing wise. I got some more content pumping, man. So stay on the lookout, man. Tap in with Cam J Network, man. So sub to the channel, like and comment on the video. Like I said before, follow Cam J Network on all your socials. And salute, man. And we out of here. You did.